The last 2 weeks have been rough as hell. I've been suggested to have a thicker skin. Honestly, thicker skin ain't nothing but some damn built up calluses.
Hi, my name is MK Fleming. I'm a run coach based in Denver, Colorado. But this isn't a podcast about running exactly. Don't tell my clients, but we're never really talking about the running. When you know a craptastic event is coming, it helps to have a mantra to keep you centered and focused as you move through it. You don't have to be an athlete to be #coached and loved by Coach MK. And if you are here, then you are #winning at life.
So before I actually continue on, my name is Latoya Shante Snell. I am the food and fitness blogger of Running Fat Chef. It is basically my unadulterated, potty mouth-filled, open-ended diary where I share some of my food, fitness, and crazy adventures, essentially, on one platform with the general public. With that being said, let's talk about having a thick skin. This is like a convenient term that a lot of people like to use, particularly when someone is going through a rough patch or they're hearing something that's extremely tough to actually cope with. And we tend to get the response to have a thicker skin. Let's elaborate and talk about that. Why do we actually need thicker skin? And where exactly did this expression come from? Well, personally, I'm not a historian and I didn't do any research before actually talking on here. So I couldn't tell you where it actually came from. But what I can tell you is that it's a load of bullshit. So as someone has suggested to me online this week, thick skin gets cut just as much as regular skin, whatever that may be. But I would like to actually add on to that thick skin is nothing but calluses. And why would I say that? Well, here's the reason why. Just because you are accustomed to hearing terrible things, or maybe you built up some type of tolerance over time, doesn't stop the pain from being there. It does not stop you from being hurt. All we manage to do is suppress it, which is why I think the best way to describe thicker skin is just a bunch of layers of calluses. It is still being touched. It can still be harmed. It just may take a little bit longer or a little bit of time and patience and grit to be able to get underneath that thick skin. Why have we normalized the idea that we feel hurt? Why do we just suppress it and say, okay, well, that person is going through something and we just feel okay to dismiss someone else's pain? Sometimes I think what we need to question, why do people do this to each other? Now, it could be easy to say things like, hurt people hurt people. I think that's a cliche saying that a lot of people like to use these days, but I want to go a little bit further in that thought process. Instead of saying hurt people, I want to say that maybe these hurt people are scared to actually feel the feelings of other hurt people. As human beings, we empathize and we sympathize with certain situations. And at times when we hear people, especially our loved ones or friends or family members, and we hear that they're going through something, sometimes we don't have the answers to their problems. We don't know how to fix them. And the reality of it is that the person who is venting to you may not be looking for you to fix them at all. Maybe they just want you to hear. Maybe they just want you to exist in that moment. Maybe they just want you to feel in that moment. And there's really no shame in actually telling that person, I really don't know what to tell you, but I am definitely here to listen. There's different types of listeners out there. There's people who listen with their ears. There are people who listen with their hearts so much that they become so engulfed in this situation that they start to feel that same anxiety with you. And then there's active listeners. I try to practice being an active listener as much as possible. And let me elaborate just a bit more on what I mean by that. Being an active listener means that you are listening with your ears and you are doing your absolute best to not interrupt that person in their thought process as they explain what's going on with them. But to take it a step further, when you are an active listener, that means that you are able to respond back and recite back some of the things that you actually heard, and then give them a proper assessment of what you actually think. Now, if you don't have any thoughts on or anything that you feel may not be constructive at that moment, then as an active listener, it is actually okay to say, I really don't know how to actually answer or give you my proper assessment of the situation. Why do we fear this so much? It's like we walk around with this perception that we have to have answers to everything. Listen, we're human. We're fucked up sometimes. And sometimes some situations are so severe that there's no manual or textbook to tell you how to navigate through these things. So, with that being said, I don't think the world actually needs us to have thicker skin. Maybe we just need a little bit more humanity. Maybe we need to have a little bit more patience. Maybe we need to practice a little bit more empathy. Respect that person's feelings. Understand that just because you process something one way may not be the way that someone else actually processes it. And it does not negate their feelings to say, I am just here listening, but I don't know how to help you. Sometimes that is the most helpful thing that you can actually provide a person, just to be present. A lot of people like the idea of, let me give you the answer to something. Sometimes some of us want to present a present, like almost like, let me buy you something or give you something to make the pain go away. How about we ask ourselves, why are we so afraid to actually exist in that moment, in that hurt, and to examine it and really just look at the layers, layer by layer, and question it for our own growth? I have this tattoo that's actually sitting on my wrist, and it's the Sankofa bird. And what it represents is, in order to move forward, you have to look back. It doesn't mean that you're dwelling on it, but it does mean that you look back just so you can move forward and make progress, not repeating things over and over again just to experience that same hurt. And that's probably the message that I would actually lay on to you. So, if you like what I said, or you just say, you're kind of a cool person to actually follow, you can follow me on the following platforms. I am on Instagram. That is I am El Shantae. That's IALMSHAUNTAY. I am El Shantae. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. You can also follow me on Facebook. That is www.facebook.com/runningfatchef. You can also find me on my website, www.runningfatchef.com. Don't whisper that. That is www.runningfatchef.com. And I forgot to actually mention, I am on Twitter. I need to get these things actually really in sync, but it's Latoya Shantae. That's LATOYA SHAUNTAY. All right, guys. Love and light.
You are coached, you are loved, and you are winning at life. And you are definitely winning at life if you subscribe to my Nuzzlement newsletter, follow me on Facebook, or follow me on Instagram. Feel free to do all three. Oh my God, how cool was that? Running Fat Chef on my podcast. I absolutely love Latoya and appreciate all of her work. Make no mistake, putting yourself out and your journey out there for public consumption is work. 99.9% of it is unpaid work. Let's show her how much we appreciate her openness and honesty by supporting her trip to Tokyo. Head on over to the Coach MK Facebook page and check out the GoFundMe I set up. Let's balance out the hate she got last week with love and dollar signs this week. Yay! At long last, your wait is over. My website is ready to go. Go check it out. www.coachedandloved.com. Again, that's www.coachedandloved.com. It's awesome!